So, for the last week and a bit, I've had this amazing sense of clarity that has arrived to me. And I kept, trying to figure out how the story ends, what happens this way or the other. And then it kind of came to me realizing, okay, maybe I shouldn't be like trying to figure out how the story ends. I just got to like do the story. Now, unfortunately, the position that I've put myself in, I haven't really been able to, have a good story to be written. Obviously, it's still good. I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but I was scared to get tapped into that state of consciousness, and I think a lot of people are ultimately scared to get put in that state of consciousness. It is scary. I'm personally coming to terms with it, but it is a scary thing to actually think and have critical thought about everything. And instead of just like, accepting and being like, oh, I guess I'm this, I guess I'm that. I think ultimately what ends up happening is you're able to create your own story. But most of the stories is like, I, I feel like they've been heard before. The infamous couch and the infamous weekend with the drinks. It just it doesn't hit the same for me anymore. And yeah, I think that's the stage of where I'm at in my life is I am ambitious. I really want to, do something with my life and not just, you know, waste it because honestly, we don't know what happens. And that's the beauty of it. People will be like, oh, yeah, we get to the state of consciousness and people will think, oh, it's just a game or, I get unlimited lives or this or that. No one really knows. That's the scary thing. I kind of getting to this consensus that no one actually knows, but people don't like going to the state of consciousness because it's scary for the unknown to happen. When we live in our societies, everything's already happened before, everything's already been done, and when you try to be innovative, you get shot down, especially with where I live in Australia. Whenever I try to like my true self for who I am, I literally get called gay. Maybe that's because my friends are a bit weird sometimes, but I don't know. It's just to me, a lot of people just end up hating themselves because they put themselves into a situation where they don't feel like they have any control. And this is like my whole like journey that I've been going on for last week. It's realizing I do have control about the outcomes. I know it feels like you don't, but when you start saying you have control, it just gives you so much more energy and clarity. I always was just like a strong believer of, oh, I have no energy. I'm so tired. Oh, this, that, the other thing. And this is just the potential lie given to us by humanity to keep us weak. The reason why you're tired is because you've already done the same boring thing over and over again. And it doesn't actually give you a sense of joy. Yeah, I know I said it. A lot of people will be like, oh, I watched the TV for 3 hours. I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna recharge. The actual unfortunate reality that I'm starting to realize is that's quite the opposite. You are fucking feeding your brain with dopamine. You are flooding it with, getting rid of all your creative energy and your spark. And as much as people hate to hear that because they've already accepted it as truth, I can only say what I can say. And what gives me energy and drive is, working towards goals. I know it's so crazy. Everyone says that, but I've actually like started to realize, okay, if I want to get energy, if I want to feel good, I got to achieve the goals that I actually want. And for me, the goals are, leave home, start earning money, travel, do cool shit, meet cool people. But people like just playing it safe. And I think it is important that you do have people that are able to be level-headed and keep it safe in your life. But some people aren't able to tap into that state of consciousness where it's fun to explore and do different things that we've never done before. Because, our monkey brains are wired to think, oh, we're going to die, we're going to do this. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. As long as we're not doing anything stupid, So that's where you can have your safe friend if you want to actually think and process. But yeah, that's really all my conscious efforts and thoughts have really been going to for last week. And I keep seeing this Ouroboros snake, coming up constantly. I keep reminding myself that in order to create new life, you have to destroy old life, if that makes sense. You have to dissolve some of the traits that you previously had in order to live a new life and be something different. And I think that's really an important message to have, or at least for myself, is if you want to change, you gotta die. I know it's scary. You gotta kill your old traits. And it's like, oh, I've already invested 20 years into having those traits. It feels like such a waste of time. Yeah, because it was. But yeah, I've just had this good sense of clarity of the goals that I want to get and the things I want to do. And a lot of the people that I have surrounded myself with don't actually really want the same goals as me, which is fine. They're still my friends, always will be my friends. But it's that sense of clarity that I'm getting now is that they want to live their life in a certain way, and that's perfectly okay. And if they're happy to do so, that's their choice. Or not even if they're happy to do so. At the end of the day, it's their choice. And people will say, oh, it's not my choice. Oh, I didn't choose to be like this. Well, yeah, no one chose to exist, but I think it's a beautiful thing, really, that we get the opportunity to have our speck in the universe and do our thing. But ultimately, it is your choice because your actions have set you up to get you into that position. It'd be like, oh, how did I end up hanging off the edge of this cliff? Oh, wait, I did this, I did that, I did that, etc. So you actually do put yourself into your position. Whether you want to, hold yourself accountable for that or not, it's up to you, bro. It's up to you. Anyways, guys, that was the video for today. I know it's very disjointed and wishy-washy, but I think it's really given me a sense of clarity. And I do got to play to the rules sometimes, and I forget that I am here to play to the rules, and that's what it is. But most of the time, the rules are kind of set up by other people with a different sense. So yeah, let's break some rules, guys. Let's get it. Let's earn some money. Let's do some cool shit. All right. See you guys later.